A video documentary for the National Advocacy Campaign on Adaptation in Nigeria, NACAN, implemented by Climate Change Network Nigeria, CCN, in collaboration with Climate Action Network West Africa, CANWA, ENDA, Senegal. Climate change adaptation. It is a fact that high premium is placed on adaptation in Africa, while in West Africa, it is a higher premium. This is because of the peculiar realities of climate change impact that have left West Africa more impacted and impoverished than other sub-regions in Africa. According to the fourth assessment report of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC AR4 2007, Sub-Saharan Africa will be the worst hit by climate change. Reduction in rainfall, increase in temperature, desertification, and sea level rise, etc., undermining significant components of the existing economic and social infrastructure, as well as sustainable development. The UNFCCC, in its Adaptation Fact Sheet 2009, emphasized as priority the need for increased investment in adaptive capacity, such as strengthening the ability of countries to reduce disaster risk will safeguard economic progress already made and increase the climate resilience of economies on the way to achieving overall development goals. The West African node of the Climate Action Network, CANWA, also made adaptation a priority for all its members, as indicated in its Canwa Analyze, July 2011, which is a comprehensive situation report on West African sub-region. The Nigeria perspective. From the National Policy on Climate Change and Resilience Strategy, NPCCRS, which was approved in September 2012, the priority focused on adaptation. This led to production of National Adaptation Policy documents known as the National Adaptation Strategy and Plan of Action for Climate Change in Nigeria, NASPA-CCN, by the Federal Ministry of Environment in collaboration with Nigeria Environmental Study Action Team, NEST, that initiated the document. This National Adaptation Policy document was produced by Nigerian government sequel to severe desertification in the northern part and flood sea level rise in the southern part of Nigeria. It was published in December 2011 after a broad-based consultation. The document encapsulates the strategy and plans of action for implementing adaptation measures in the nation, as well as roles and responsibility of federal, states, and local governments, civil society, the private sector, individual and donor international organizations respectively. But to date, all the actors including the CSOs, are yet to congruently activate their delineated roles and responsibilities as outlined in the document. In the light of the above, the Climate Change Network Nigeria, CCN Nigeria, in its Strategic Action Plan 2013 to 2015, otherwise known as Green Advocacy Campaign Project, placed adaptation as its priority focus.
A variable report from various national and regional sources shows that the people of Nigeria has been suffering from a range of sustained ecological problems necessitated by climate change due to structural administrative defects and low awareness of climate vulnerability, mitigations and adaptations. Climate change has manifested desertification, water shortage, erosion, displacement, conflict, underdevelopment, and loss of biodiversity. While deforestation, gas flaring, oil pollution, and other extractive activities that promote vulnerability are going unhindered in the country.
Efforts so far. Meanwhile, intervention in promoting and implementing adaptation measures have only been coming from the non-governmental sectors, such as that of Enrich Boel Siftung, Nigeria, in 2008, known as Response to Climate Change, Adaptation Strategy of Action for Nigeria, and that of Nigeria Environmental Study Action Team, NEST, funded by Canadian International Development Assistance, CIDA, known as National Adaptation Strategy and Plan of Action, NASPA. These efforts were concentrated on strengthening the capacity of national government and had the support of the then Special Climate Change Unit, SCCU, now Climate Change Department, CCD, of the Federal Ministry of Environment. It heralded conscious awareness on the need for implementing adaptation in Nigeria and address the inherent challenges of the past, which was largely in the area of inadequate capacity on the part of all the concerned stakeholders. This is why Climate Change Network Nigeria, CCN, the largest civil society network on climate change in Nigeria, with organizational membership of over 150 civil society organizations, initiate a national advocacy campaign on adaptation in Nigeria, NACAN, as a civil society-driven process to build and strengthen the capacity and knowledge of civil society stakeholders to ensure effective discharge of its roles, responsibilities, and engage influence other stakeholders towards successful implementation of the NASPA-CCN.
1 or 2, 3.
NACAN activities. The activities of NACAN are aimed at promoting national advocacy on the implementation of adaptation in Nigeria, which fall within the priority need of Africa, West Africa, as well as the priority focus of CANWA and that of the Nigerian nation. The goal of the advocacy campaign is to strengthen the capacity of the Nigerian civil society stakeholders for effective implementation of NASPA-CCN, while its objective includes to increase multi-stakeholders awareness on climate change adaptation, government, business sector, civil society, media, etc.
Climate change, known as IPCC, at the fourth assessment report in 2007 admitted that sub-Saharan Africa will be the worst hit by climate change as a result of irregular rainfall pattern, increase in temperature, desertification, and sea level rise have been predicted that we're undermining significant components of existing economic and social infrastructure as well as sustainable development. According to the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, in 2011 annual report, quotes and says this: the devastating flood in Lagos and Ibadan on July 12 and August 26, 2011, respectively, and other flood incidents are stark reminders that we are still highly vulnerable to disasters.
To promote stakeholders, support for the approval of NASPA-CCN and its effective implementation. To train, build capacity of Nigerian CSOs and communities on adaptation.
I want to assure you on the level that we are thinking alike and we are on the same page as far as this climate change issue is concerned. We realize the fact that, like I said, most of the conflict that we are witnessing is as a result of climate change. And you should expect more as long as we do not take proactive, step to address this issue of climate change and other related matters. So therefore, we want to assure you that we will look into the sponsorship of your group to UNFCCC meeting in Poland.
Its planned activities include production of IEC materials on the roles, responsibility of stakeholders in the implementation of NASPA-CCN, production of summarized version of the NASPA-CCN for dissemination, courtesy advocacy visits to selected stakeholders ongoing, media houses, print and electronic, Daily Trust Abuja, This Day Abuja, AIT Abuja and NTA Abuja, Enrich Bowl Siftung Development Partner, Minister of Environment in company of CCD, Forestry Department, Desertification, ETC, Minister of Finance, National Orientation Agency, NOAA, Legislature, Senate Committee on Environment, House Committee on Climate Change, Energy Commission of Nigeria, ECN, National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Roadwork for Adaptation, National Stakeholders Capacity Building Workshop on the implementation of NASPA-CCN, inauguration launch of the NACAN.
Opportunity. This can be done by going green and embracing green economic initiative, which is defined by United Nations Environment Program as an economy that results in improved human well-being and reduced inequalities over a long term, while not exposing future generations to significant environmental risk and ecological scarcities. The United Nations Secretary General, Mr. Ban Ki-moon, further upholds that among the most significant implications of the shift to a green economy is its potential to mitigate climate change and assist countries in coping with the growing impacts. All these entail developing climate resilience actions, adaptation or coping capacity, and low carbon development actions, mitigation across various sectors of the economy and national development, which we have taken upon us to democratize through our Green Advocacy Campaign project, which is embodied in our 7-point strategic action plan 2013 to 2015. This led to initiating the Green Canopy Advocacy Project for promoting climate mitigation and the National Advocacy Campaign for Adaptation in Nigeria.
Advocacy visits has been carried out to Daily Trust newspapers, Enrich Bowl Siftung Nigeria, National Orientation Agency and National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA. In conclusion, for sustainability, the NACAN activities are positioned to be yearly events in collaboration with Climate Change Department, Ministry of Environment, and potential partners and donor agencies. The project is planned to be monitored and evaluated annually. The current pace of implementation is proportional to the limited and inadequate funds. This is a huge challenge to successful implementation of the project. Therefore, we call on donor agencies across the world to support the NACAN project for effective implementation to the end and achieve its objective, so that adaptation will be grounded and resilience strengthened in Nigeria. As the most populous country in Africa, with demography of over 150 million people and 70% of them poor, Nigeria has millions of citizens that are victims of climate change impact. Call on support for NACAN so that Nigeria can be adapted to the world we want, where poverty, climate change impact, and disasters of loss of lives and properties are reduced and sustainable development entrenched. We commend the West African Climate Action Network, CANWA, and ENDA Senegal for supporting NACAN. A video documentary for the National Advocacy Campaign on Adaptation in Nigeria, NACAN, implemented by Climate Change Network Nigeria, CCN, in collaboration with Climate Action Network West Africa, CANWA, ENDA, Senegal. Climate change adaptation. It is a fact that high premium is placed on adaptation in Africa, while in West Africa, it is a higher premium. This is because of the peculiar realities of climate change impact that have left West Africa more impacted and impoverished than other sub-regions in Africa. According to the fourth assessment report of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, IPCC AR4 2007, Sub-Saharan Africa will be the worst hit by climate change. Reduction in rainfall, increase in temperature, desertification, and sea level rise, etc., undermining significant components of the existing economic and social infrastructure as well as sustainable development. The UNFCCC, in its Adaptation Fact Sheet 2009, emphasized as priority the need for increased investment in adaptive capacity, such as strengthening the ability of countries to reduce disaster risk will safeguard economic progress already made and increase the climate resilience of economies on the way to achieving overall development goals. The West African node of the Climate Action Network, CANWA, also made adaptation a priority for all its members, as indicated in its Canwa Analyze, July 2011.